Do any of you guys remember in school when you used to be failing on the test and really struggling, and the teacher used to come in and give you all of the answers? Oh yeah, it probably never happened. For most people, that's not something that they can relate to, but this is just like life and people expect completely different results. The concept of no answers in the test is something which most people completely understand. The concept of no answers in the test in life, not so easy for most people to comprehend either. From the age of, well, essentially birth, all the way up till about 18, we're given the opportunity to learn all sorts of stuff. Right stuff, wrong stuff. We have great experiences, we have terrible experiences. We get in trouble for doing bad stuff, and we get praised for doing good stuff. As much as we can say, to be a bad kid's a terrible experience at the time, as much as we can say to be a good kid might make you look like a geek. Having both ends of the spectrum and everything in the middle allows for a comprehensive adult. And most people do fortunately still get this opportunity. If you've been raised to a level which you think is a fair standard and a good standard, you have a great opportunity. You have an understanding of how the world works. And most people are competent people, and they can comprehend and deeply understand how things work. So you have all of the necessary answers and necessary logic in your head to answer the test. But now it comes to it, it seems that a lot of people like to struggle with it, unintentionally, but it is something that I have to say they like to do, or else they would stop making the issue, I believe. Now, I don't want to talk about a specific field here. We could very easily make this video about life in general, or about business specifically, but let's talk about it all as a whole. You don't get given the answers in the middle of the test, and that is completely fine. Some days I have terrible days in business, some days I have terrible days in life. But the point is, you have to find a way through it. Before long, within a couple of years, maybe even a couple of decades for some people, it becomes clear that this is just part of the process. And just like a stock graph chart, you can have a few days and weeks of going up, but even a stock graph that on the 1 to 2 year chart goes like that, it still has its little ups and downs on the 1 minute, on the 1 day. It might be a weird analogy, but this is just like life. We don't go up in straight lines, and when things get tough, a lot of people feel a desire to quit. Again, whether we're talking about starting that business and giving up on it in the first week, whether we're talking about starting that band that we wanted to be in and giving up on that because we don't see ourselves as a potential musician. These are all little aspirations, and taking away from them it basically seems to destroy people's souls. It doesn't need to be the case. We have to power through the struggle a lot of times, and it's easier said than done, but again, once you have enough of these issues, many of them can be addressed very easily. That's why certain people can be in extremely stressful situations and not freak out at all. It's not necessarily because they're amazing, it's probably because they understand how things work in the field that they're in. There's going to be a lot of tests in life. I know that's true for me going forwards, I know it's true for a lot of you guys. I know a lot of you guys, and me included, have had a lot of difficulty throughout the years, throughout the past few months, throughout the past few weeks, throughout the past few days. That's just how it works sometimes. But you are going to get tested a lot. Your patience is going to get tested. Your determination is going to get tested. Your ability to stick to things is going to get tested. But we need to be aware that this is just part of the process, and this is just what it takes to become a truly successful person. I'm fully aware that this is more of a mindset related video that can then be transferred and related onto any other subtopic, but my point here can be applied to absolutely anything. This is what life's about, and people get two choices and people take two avenues. The first one is what we've just mentioned, acknowledging that to do stuff, we're going to have a big challenge. It's going to get hard, but we need to see that, the teacher doesn't give answers in the test. But we also need to acknowledge that people go the opposite way, and this is a more dangerous way and a more negative way, if you ask me. People often go into the path of, well, things aren't going well, so let's just stop doing it. And this can be taken to the absolute extremes, where people struggle with even the basic tasks. This is tough, this is unfortunate, but that again doesn't need to be the case. What do we genuinely want to achieve, and how do we go about making that happen? Once we set a plan, we should stick to it. We should always be able to adapt our plan if things go wrong, or else we're doomed to fail, because a plan, nothing ever goes to plan, but having a loose plan allows for us to stick within the parameters of this and this, whereas if we say, well, this is going to happen, then that's going to happen, there's no guarantee of that. Having a rough guidance allows us to have some sort of expectations management, know where things can go wrong, know where things can go completely correct, and work based in the parameters of, the risk management that we've outlined. Experience is also a great thing for this. We can talk about experience in certain fields. Most people have some experience in something. And again, whether we talk about something really basic like riding a bike no-handed, when you did that for the first time, it probably felt quite scary and you couldn't do it for very long. I don't know about you guys, but I can ride a bike no-handed, forever. It's very, very easy. And I know it's a really basic thing, but that's my point. It's that simple once you know what you're doing. One of the biggest reasons why I started this YouTube channel is to document my successes, failures, and learnings as the years and months go on. What I'm learning more and more though is there's a lot of stuff that just does not go to plan. And inevitably, it's a statistic as you'd expect, the more you do, the more can go wrong. That is definitely the case. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what is going wrong? What does that actually mean? I know this is getting very philosophical now, and this is the sort of video that I don't usually make, but what does that genuinely mean? Well, we could say it's getting the outcome that we don't desire, but is that wrong? Because I learn stuff all the time from stuff that goes wrong. I've had some of my best experiences from some of the worst times, and I've succeeded to highest heights at my lowest moments because I had to try for new things, and that wouldn't have happened if I was in a position of comfort due to nothing going wrong. So, in the test, it's about acknowledging new opportunities pop up, new experiences pop up, new people pop up, new chances pop up, and that's what it is. But our mindset greatly influences how true that is. Because if we view everything from a negative and nihilistic view, that's not going to change. If we do the opposite though, we have a lot better potential of getting into that position that we genuinely want to be in. Anyway, more of a short video here for you guys, but hopefully one of some use still. Thank you for watching it up until this point. I hope to see you in our next one. I know it's been a bit more of a philosophical video, but like I say, as much as I want to share my earnings on, my new Etsy shop or my eBay shop or something like that, I also want to share my learnings with you guys. And this is one of those ones. We always sit there and say, why is it me? Why is it gone wrong? Why am I not getting the help that I need from someone else, from God, from this, from that? It's like, things go wrong for everybody. Some people pick themselves up from it, some people never recover. You have the choice, so please do try and make the right one whilst you still can, whatever that is for you. So thank you, and I hope to see you in our next one. Goodbye for now though.